Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. We are here at Freshwater Exotics. What a great fish room. They're going to tell you what they've got. So introduce yourselves. What's your name? What do we got going on here in this fish room?
I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
We're the owners of Freshwater Exotics. We are direct importers of wild-caught fish. We do 100% wild-caught. We fully support the wild-caught aquarium industry in Brazil, Colombia, South America. So we have a wide variety of Plecos, Cichlids, angelfish. We just started getting into Discus.
Nice.
So we have a wide variety of things for you to choose from. Our website is www.freshwaterexotics.com. You can check out our stock list.
And your stock, I will put their contact information in the description below. I will also post a comment. Wait till you see these Plecos. Wait till you see these cichlids. They are really awesome, so stay tuned. So this is Freshwater Exotics. We're going to take a tour of their fish room. These are the tanks that you see right when you walk down into their basement. We've got some really cool wild-caught discus and angelfish together. This tank looked to be about 125 gallons. They had a few 125s filled with discus and angelfish. Really liked the colors, thought they were pretty awesome. I haven't kept discus, but you can certainly see why people do like them a lot. Again, I'm going to put their information down in the description below. I get a lot of questions sometimes about, hey, where can I buy fish online? This is certainly some place that you could consider. They have the stocking list up on their website, which is kind of cool. And we're going to show you a lot of the fish that they have. So this was yet another of the 125 gallon fish tanks. Again, discus, you can see the really pretty colors, and the angelfish. Now they do specialize in Plecos. What I'd love to hear from you, I'm going to show you a lot of Plecos, a lot of fish that I haven't seen before. Would love to hear from you down in the comments section which ones were your favorite. So here we're looking at a tank. We got 3 different types of Plecos. Now I am not a Pleco expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I really thought it was cool just to see the variety here. I could certainly see why people enjoy them. Again, we've got 3 different ones here, and we could see a more up close shot over here. Again, what's interesting about this as we go through this fish room tour, one of the things to keep in mind is the tanks themselves didn't have lights on each individual tank. The light that you see is really just coming from the lights in the room. And so when we're talking about things like color, if the tanks had been individually lit, obviously colors are going to be a little bit more pronounced. So if you do see something that's got a lot of color, that's saying a lot about the fish, because it was just a light from the room itself, not individual tank lights. These are really, really cool as well. I love, as you know, the Geophagus type fish, and I'm always looking for more, so it was nice to see them. Here we've got some L121s. Nice looking fish. I like the patterns. Another interesting thing, and this is a nice up close picture of them. Another interesting thing about the fish room is they do keep their tanks a little bit warmer. So when you walk in the room, it was pretty warm, even though there are some heaters in individual tanks. They said they try to keep their tanks right around 82 or so in this room where the Plecos are at. Again, you can see here some L114s. Look at this. Joanna got a nice shot of an L14, nice and close, using our macro lens, and I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not all that often where you get to see them a little bit more up close. Really pretty looking fish. Again, want to hear from you. Which ones do you like the best that you see here today? Here we go again with the L114s. You know, a lot of these Plecos I had never seen before, which is kind of interesting. Here now we're looking at some L124s. There's an L147, L387. Don't ask me to distinguish between the 3. If you're interested in determining, okay, you've got the L numbers up here, go to the website. They have pictures of them all. The website's really well done, where if you see something here and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really cool, if you go to the website, then you can actually confirm what it is you're looking at. So this is an L600. So for me, and I don't want to skew the voting or anything, but I really like these. These were probably my most favorite Pleco in all the fish room, the L600, and they had a number of them in different sizes as well. So anywhere from maybe 4 or 5 inches to slightly larger, but they had a lot of them. I like this one a lot. To be honest, it's something I hadn't seen before. So like I said, I'm kind of a Pleco rookie. I've never really been into the exotic Plecos, but this is certainly something really cool to see here. So here's an L128, a tank full of them. And again, you can see here, like the spots, kind of like a starry night sky. It reminded me of like a pollinized cichlid, only not a cichlid, it's a pleco. So I wonder, that'd be kind of a cool thing. These guys look very, very similar. Here, L31s, L333s, I like the zebra patterning on these plecos. That's something really cool to see. Also like the lepidifers in this tank. The L14 is also really cool. Look how I like the lighter patterning to that with the spots and the yellow tail. I just think these guys are something that would really stand out in the tank. But I also like the less common cichlids, something you don't always see at the pet store, which is pretty interesting. And you can also see in their pleco tanks a lot of bare bottom stuff. It's going to be a lot easier to maintain. Plecos can make a lot of waste. Bare bottom doesn't trap as much of that waste. Here, these are really, I think these are interesting fish, the Lotto fasciatus. They don't get a whole lot bigger than what you see here. Apparently they're not super aggressive either, but they had a really nice yellow stripe patterning to them. Like them a lot, like their personalities. This is something where if you're looking for an unusual fish, this could certainly be an option. Here's a better shot of their colors. Just a really interesting fish, and again, not something you see at the pet stores very often. Here we have some L239s. Like them a lot. Check this out. Look at the pretty blue eyes. In a moment here, we're going to have a better shot, but I like this fish. The body color is kind of more similar to a standard pleco, a little bit more gray, but look at these blue eyes. That just really stands out. They're little tiny eyes, but really pretty. So here they had a number of these. These are the L200s, L124s. Again, interesting, pretty fish. I love the patterning on the tail fin that we see here. And now this is an L34. Really kind of an interesting, look at the armor on these plecos. I just thought that was really cool. You could really see it. It really stood out with the L34s, even more so than some of the other plecos that they have. And the Biotodoma are interesting fish as well. Love the silver color, love the little iridescent spot. And once you put these fish again on an appropriate substrate with a darker background, they're probably really going to stand out. But they look really pretty. Again, keep in mind that the only light that we see is the light from the room itself. None of these tanks have lights. So yeah, while some of the colors may look subdued in this video, when you get lights on the actual tanks, you're going to have a different situation going on here. Love the L200 Green Phantom Plecos. This was probably, is it my second favorite? It's probably pretty close. I've seen large Green Phantom Plecos go for a lot of money. It's crazy. You walk in and you see this tank, and there's just a tank filled with these things. And usually it's like you see one, at least for me, and I'm like, oh wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So here's some Hypencistrus Controdons. This is another really cool fish. Look at the spots again, a little bit different. Again, these rare plecos were really a sight to see, especially so many of them in one place. A little bit harder to see the L240, but I just thought it was a cool looking pleco. And then here they had a few of these, the L160s. I like those, more subdued in their colors, but just thought they were interesting in the way that they looked. And then check these out. These are the L114s. Again, I really like the coloration, the yellow tail, the spots, kind of like a leopard. Here, L66, this was a super cool pleco as well with the patterning. Christine was going to try to name all these fish, and I was going to try to get them on audio, but there was a lot of people here. This was part of the shop hop that we did, where we also did a couple fish store tours, and so it was kind of hard to hear, so I'm just kind of going off of our conversation and kind of popping the numbers in here. But again, you see these fish that are just cool. I mean, look at the high dorsal fin. I like this one a lot too. So we got the L240s in here, the L91s. I love that black and white spotted pattern. That was really cool to see. These pleco condos were also pretty awesome. They don't breed a lot of plecos here. This is more just so that they keep down on aggression, give the plecos a place to call their own, so they're not picking on each other and all fighting over a few places. So they had this tank in particular, and there might have been a couple others where they had these things set up, and it seemed to be working out pretty well for them. Here's some L200s. So this is a different kind. This is a hyphen. Pretty cool. And then here we've got some Geophagus from, it was labeled just Rio Negro. That was the species that it was labeled. So I thought that was funny. She stuck her hand in there to show us a pleco, and they're all kind of chomping on her hand, asking where their food is at. It's kind of the cool thing about cichlids. Here's some L15s again, some really cool patterning I just think that this was an interesting fish. Here we've got some L124s. Again, you see some really cool patterning there as well. Got some Pandawarus, young, obviously on the younger side, but looking pretty already. And then on top, we've got the L177. They had some whiptail cats. This is one of the, the tanks where, because it's a whiptail cat, they've got a little bit of sand, and you can see how much they love that. They just kind of bury themselves. They stick their eyes out, and they're just kind of looking at you. The Dichrosis are really cool fish. I like them a lot. They had a number of them, and it was just kind of cool to see them all in one tank. So if you enjoyed this video, we're going to have more fish room tours, fish store tours coming up here soon. Share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.